The narrative begins by framing the broader context of sports as a domain dominated by athletes who monopolize glory through skill and strategy cultivated from a young age. Soccer, in particular, is depicted as a stage where raw talent and relentless training converge, leaving little room for outsiders. This thematic backdrop sets the stage for Haitani's story, challenging the notion that only the chosen few can rise to greatness. Haitani is introduced as a volatile and rebellious figure, notorious in his school for his unbeaten record in fights. His identity is rooted in physical dominance. He thrives on the adrenaline of brawls and the reputation they afford him. However, this reputation also isolates him, marking him as a problem student in the eyes of teachers and peers alike. The chapter opens mid-confrontation. Haitani is embroiled in yet another fight, his fists flying as onlookers egg him on. His bravado is palpable, but beneath the surface lies a restless dissatisfaction, a sense that his victories in alleyways are hollow and fleeting. Enter Mr. Ashimi, a newly transferred teacher whose calm demeanor and unorthodox methods disrupt Haitani's world. Ashimi intervenes in the fight not with threats or punishment, but with a challenge, a one-on-one soccer match. If Ashimi wins, Haitani must cease all fighting in school. Haitani, brimming with arrogance, scoffs at the idea of losing to an old man but agrees, viewing the match as another chance to assert his dominance. The soccer match becomes a turning point. Ashimi, despite his age, dismantles Haitani's brute force approach with tactical precision. Using techniques like juggling and trapping, he controls the ball effortlessly, turning the game into a humiliating lesson for Haitani. The contrast between Ashimi's refined skill and Haitani's untamed aggression is stark. Haitani's frustration mounts as he realizes that strength alone cannot overcome strategy. Ashimi's victory is not just physical but psychological. He exposes the limitations of Haitani's worldview. Yet, rather than crushing Haitani's spirit, the loss ignites a stubborn determination. Ashimi, recognizing the spark, assigns Haitani a series of drills, juggling the ball 5 times, then 10, mastering footwork, and understanding spatial awareness. These tasks, initially dismissed as pointless by Haitani, become a grudging obsession. His friends mock him for trading fists for a soccer ball, but Haitani's persistence hints at a deeper yearning for purpose, validation, or perhaps redemption. Over days of grueling practice, Haitani's relationship with soccer evolves. What begins as a spiteful attempt to prove himself to Ashimi slowly morphs into genuine curiosity. A pivotal moment occurs during a solitary practice session at dusk. After countless failed attempts, Haitani finally juggles the ball 5 times in a row. The triumph is small but profound, symbolizing the first crack in his defensive armor. Ashimi, ever the enigmatic mentor, avoids direct praise but pushes Haitani further, introducing concepts like defensive positioning with the mantra, don't let your opponent get past you. Be a wall. This philosophy resonates with Haitani, who begins to see soccer not just as a game, but as a metaphor for resilience. The field becomes a space where his volatile emotions, rage, pride, insecurity, can be channeled into focus. As Haitani's skills grow, Ashimi proposes an audacious goal, forming a team to compete in the prefectural preliminaries, a tournament dominated by elite academies like Aoda Academy, home to prodigious talents such as Yuga Takami, last year's scoring leader. Haitani initially balks at the idea, dismissing it as a futile endeavor for a ragtag group of amateurs. However, the prospect of facing Takami, a player hailed as a once-in-a-generation talent, stirs something in him. Reluctantly, Haitani agrees to recruit teammates, though his abrasive personality complicates the process. His reputation as a delinquent intimidates potential recruits, but Ashimi's quiet authority helps assemble a motley crew. Among them is Shimazaki, a technically gifted but introverted student whose calm precision contrasts sharply with Haitani's fiery aggression. The team's lack of cohesion is glaring during early practices. Passes go awry, defensive formations collapse, and frustration runs high. Yet, under Ashimi's guidance, they begin to gel. Shimazaki emerges as a strategic counterbalance to Haitani, his quiet confidence stabilizing the team's chaotic energy. The narrative builds toward the prefectural preliminaries, where Haitani's team is pitted against Aoda Academy in a David vs. Goliath showdown. The crowd's dismissive murmurs, thugs versus athletes, underscore the mismatch, but Ashimi frames the match as a test of growth rather than a quest for victory. From the opening whistle, Aoda's superiority is evident. Takami, with his effortless dribbling and icy composure, slices through defenses as if they were paper. Haitani, tasked with marking him, is overwhelmed by the gap in skill. Takami's taunts, you're just a brawler playing dress-up, pierce Haitani's pride, but Ashimi's voice anchors him. Via wall. Haitani channels his fury into relentless defense, using his physicality to disrupt Takami's rhythm. Though Aoda scores repeatedly, Haitani's tenacity begins to unnerve Takami, whose flawless facade cracks under the pressure. A defining moment arrives when Haitani executes a feint, a move Ashimi drilled into him days earlier, to steal the ball from Takami. The crowd erupts as Haitani charges toward the goal, his heart pounding with a mix of adrenaline and hope. Yet, inexperience betrays him. He hesitates at the critical moment, allowing Takami to recover and intercept. The turnover leads to another Aoda goal, compounding Haitani's humiliation. But this failure becomes a catalyst for growth. Shimazaki, previously passive, steps into a leadership role, orchestrating precise passes and directing plays. Haitani, though still rough around the edges, begins to trust his teammates, shouting instructions and covering defensive gaps. Their disjointed efforts coalesce into a semblance of strategy, and by halftime, the score, though lopsided, feels less like a rout and more like a battle of attrition. The second half sees Aoda's relentless offense met with newfound resilience. Shimazaki's crosses create scoring opportunities, and Haitani, leveraging his trapping skills, nearly nets a goal, only to be denied by a spectacular save from Aoda's goalkeeper. Takami, increasingly frustrated by Haitani's dogged persistence, resorts to psychological warfare. You'll always be a loser. The remark stings, but Haitani's response, a grim smile, signals a shift. He no longer fights purely out of anger. Now, he fights for something intangible, something akin to pride. The match's climax unfolds in the final minutes. Exhausted and drenched in sweat, Haitani intercepts a pass meant for Takami and launches a desperate counterattack. With seconds remaining, he takes a shot from midfield, a wild, hopeful strike that sails wide of the goal. The whistle blows, sealing their defeat. Yet, as Haitani collapses to his knees, gasping for air, there's a glint of triumph in his eyes. Takami approaches, offering a curt nod, a silent acknowledgement of respect, before walking away. The aftermath of the match is layered with emotional complexity. Haitani grapples with the sting of loss, but also an unfamiliar sense of accomplishment. Ashimi, ever the pragmatist, reframes the defeat as a victory of perseverance. Tears of frustration water the seeds of growth. Haitani's friends, once dismissive of his soccer obsession, regard him with wary admiration. The chapter closes with Haitani's enrollment at Kozai University-affiliated high school, a prestigious institution with a storied soccer program. His past as a delinquent lingers. Students whisper about his brawls. Teachers eye him with suspicion, but Haitani's focus is unshaken. In a poignant final scene, he stands alone on the school's pristine field, soccer ball at his feet, muttering, I'm taking my first step toward being the greatest. The phrase echoes the chapter's opening themes, underscoring that greatness is not inherited but forged through discipline, resilience, and the courage to embrace change. Throughout the chapter, soccer serves as a metaphor for Haitani's internal transformation. The ball becomes a symbol of control, something he must learn to command not with fists but with patience and precision. Ashimi's role as a mentor transcends sport. He becomes a father figure who challenges Haitani to confront his insecurities and redefine his identity. Secondary characters like Shimazaki add depth to the narrative, highlighting the importance of collaboration and quiet strength. Even Takami, the antagonist, is not a mere rival but a mirror reflecting Haitani's potential if he can temper his impulsivity with strategy. The chapter's pacing mirrors Haitani's journey, slow, grueling practices punctuated by bursts of adrenaline during matches. Dialogue is sparse but impactful, with Ashimi's aphorisms *be a wall*, and Takami's taunts serving as narrative anchors. Visual motifs, sweat-soaked jerseys, scuffed soccer balls, the fading light of practice sessions reinforce the themes of perseverance and imperfection. The artwork, described through the original script's cues, likely amplifies these elements, juxtaposing Haitani's rough edges with the polished precision of elite players. In conclusion, Chapter 18 of Embers is a masterful exploration of redemption through sport. Noboru Haitani's journey from delinquent to determined athlete is not just about winning matches, but about reclaiming agency over his life. The chapter rejects the notion that talent is innate, arguing instead that it is cultivated through struggle, mentorship, and the courage to confront one's flaws. By the end, Haitani's story transcends soccer, offering a universal message. Greatness lies not in never falling but in rising each time you fall, ball at your feet and eyes fixed on the horizon.